Well, good evening, internets. It's me, DP Knudten, and it's time for another edition of BOOKWARD BOUND, my 301. Am I pointing the wrong way? There you go. BOOKWARD BOUND. You'd think after 150 episodes or so, I'd know which side my type was on, but I just don't pay attention close enough to do it the right way. So, welcome to this edition of BOOKWARD BOUND, my 301-day journey from I should really do this to done. And what should I really be doing? Writing a brand new book so that I can have it self-published in 2021 so I can lord it over the head of my friend Melanie Diesel, who came to social media marketing world this past year and had a brand new book. So she had a new book this year. I'm going to have a new one next year because of her, out of spite. Yeah. That's the way it works. And so what am I doing? I'm going live, literally live streaming 301 consecutive days, whether I feel like it or not, for 301 days. And I'll be honest with you, I don't feel like doing it tonight because, frankly, let's just say I'm coughing. I have body aches. I've got a low-grade fever, a headache, et cetera, et cetera. You go down the list and you see where I'm going, right? And I haven't been tested for the dreaded C word, but I'm going to be tested tomorrow. So we'll see. That will be interesting if I really do have to write a book in the time of cholera or in the time of COVID-19. But last night we left our hero, or I should say Miro, on Scrivener looking at this. See what it says right there in the carrots? Neal Schaefer, NFB pull quote. That means Nonfiction Brand Podcast pull quote. And so I want to grab a specific quote from the episodes of the Nonfiction Brand that Neal Schaefer was the guest, because this whole section is about Neal Schaefer and how he's taking his entire menu of brands and distilling it down to one, his personal brand called Neal Schaefer. And I find it interesting and well worth a question in the podcast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to listen to that question and I'm going to transcribe it into the book. Cool. It's not the most thrilling episode, I know, but it's what I'm doing. All right, so let's see. You'll notice I'm using GarageBand, Apple's GarageBand.
About 2 years now.
About 2 years now.
About 2 years now, you actively went from maximize your social.
You actively went from maximize your social
to nealschaefer.com.
To nealschaefer.com. I don't want that link in there. Remove link. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's get rid of quit Safari. There we go. nealschaefer.com.
.com. And I remember some blog posts where you were talking about how you're doing some rebranding for yourself.
And I remember some blog posts about how you're
and I remember some blog posts where you're talking about how you're doing some rebranding for yourself.
Oh, you're doing some rebranding for yourself.
Are you doing some rebranding for yourself? I am selfishly wanting to tap your tap your brain on that because I have myself struggled with self. I am selfishly wanting to tap your brain on that because
Self. All right. So option. So I'm skipping a little bit of it.
I am selfishly wanting to tap your brain on that because
I am selfishly wanting to tap your brain on that because
I am selfishly wanting to tap your brain on that because I have myself struggled with
because I have myself struggled with
brain on that because I have myself struggled with is Nonfiction Brand my
with is nonfiction brand my
self struggled with is Nonfiction Brand my platform, and then I'm the person on that
my platform, and then I'm the person on that platform.
And then I'm the person on that platform, or should I be really concentrating on DP?
Or should I really be concentrating on collaborate or creative?
Really concentrating on DP Knudten. Should I be focused
On oops. I be
on DP Knudten? Should I be focusing on my dpknudten.com versus
should I be focusing on my dpknudten.com? Get rid of that link because I hate those links. Remove link.
.com versus nonfictionbrand.com
Versus nonfictionbrand.com. Nonfictionbrand.com.
and.com. What was your thinking from going from maximize?
What was your thinking in going from maximize your social?
What was your thinking from going from maximize your social?
From going from maximize your social
to nealschaefer.com.
To nealschaefer.com.
And there were other brands. There was a brand called Mac.
And there were other brands. Was a brand called
Brands. There was a brand called Maximize Social Business that I had.
Yeah.
called Maximize Social Business that I had. I need to put these in italics, right? Yeah, I do.
Social business that I had.
Yeah.
There was another brand called Windmill Networking that I.
There's, come on. Another brand called Windmill Marketing.
Called Windmill Networking that I had. So
Windmill Networking. Working. So.
Yeah.
there was another brand called Windmill Networking that I had. So I.
That I had. So. I.
So when I started my blog in 2000.
We'll just do an ellipsis. When I started my blog in 2007, I think he said 7. We'll see.
When I started my blog in 2008, I did it.
8, I did it.
2008. I did it through LinkedIn. LinkedIn used to have a WordPress app.
Did it through LinkedIn. He used to have a WordPress app. WordPress app.
LinkedIn used to have a WordPress app. For those that remember, I'm really dating myself here. And the name of the
name of the
blog was Your Expert Answers to Your LinkedIn Questions.
The name of the blog was Your Expert Answers to Your something questions.
Your Expert Answers to Your LinkedIn Questions.
To your what questions?
Expert Answers to Your LinkedIn Questions.
What is it?
Here. And the name of the blog was Your Expert Answers to Your LinkedIn Questions.
To your what questions? Well, let's look it up in Safari. Oh, I don't know what it is. We're going to say aching. We're going to leave it at aching questions. I'll get this to Neal. He can read through it and make some corrections, I think.
Expert answers to your LinkedIn questions. And it was very focused on LinkedIn. And it was pretty much...
And it was pretty much focused on LinkedIn. I need to go back to italic. LinkedIn.
And it was very focused on LinkedIn. And it was pretty much a Q&A. I got all these questions.
And it was pretty much a Q&A.
I got all these questions. And so
I got all these questions. So
blogging was my outlet to answer and really to network with the world. When I came...
Blogging was really my answer.
All these questions. And so blogging was my outlet to answer and really to network with the world.
So blogging was my outlet to answer and really
to network with the world. When I came...
Network with the world. When I came
with the world. When I came out with my first book, this is 2009.
I came out with my first book, 2009.
This is 2009 now, Windmill Networking, Understanding, Leveraging, and Maximizing LinkedIn. I realized I needed to create a...
I realized I needed to create
leveraging and maximizing LinkedIn. I realized I needed to create a brand. I needed to create something bigger than who I was.
A brand. I needed to create something bigger than I was.
And that was my thought of that's where I created Windmill Networking. I thought that encompassed a lot of who I was. Now, at that time, I was sort of in...
Now, at that time, I was sort of...
That encompassed a lot of who I was. Now, at that time, I was sort of in transition. And
I was sort of in transition. And
at that time, I was sort of in transition. And I was not really thinking about making this a business, right? So
I was not really thinking about making this a business.
Making this a business, right? So networking and Windmill, it's like, is this like an MLM business or, networking or, it wasn't really a good business URL.
It wasn't really a good business URL.
It wasn't really a good business URL to have. So when I
So what I
to have. So when I came out in 2000, well, it was shortly after.
Okay. I hate to say this, but I actually feel like crap. Let's just say I'm getting tested tomorrow for something, but I've been told that what I have is an upper respiratory viral blah blah blah. In other words, cold. But I'm also smart enough to know that the common cold, is a coronavirus. Now, I'm not freaking out about that because I'm too damn level-headed. But I'm also, and my family is treating it like I'm the frickin' plague leper from Calcutta that's ready to infect all and sundry. So I'm sitting down here in my office by myself, watching TV by myself. Occasionally a dog will come down here, and then I feel kind of bad because, well, they don't know that dogs don't transmit this stuff. So as much as I'd love to have you down here, you guys got to leave. So once again, I'm by myself. But that's okay. But I am going to end this tonight because I just don't feel good. However, in spite of that fact, I came down here and I found the Neal Schaefer section of the podcast I wanted to include in the book. And I've transcribed 244 words from it right now. So I consider that a huge win, especially for not feeling like doing it the way I do. So that's enough. I'm done for tonight. But I will be back tomorrow regardless, because I am that kind of idiot. I made a promise to you to come down here and work on this book every single night for 301 consecutive days. I was supposed to go solo backpacking again today, but because of how I feel, I chose not to go. And that doesn't mean I wasn't going to do the live streams from the trail, although they wouldn't be live streams. They would be videos from the trail, like the couple that I did a couple weeks ago. However, that's it for tonight, and I will see you tomorrow. Until then, theme music. Take us on out. I'll see you tomorrow.